So, I hope you enjoyed your Lyft ride, and I better get a fucking 5-star rating for this shit. Right? Right? Hey, wake up! Wake up! 5-star rating.
Pull that trigger, please.
God damn it. Okay, maybe it's fake, but still, I want that 5-star rating, god damn it.
You know how you get that 5-star rating? Work them streets, son. Show a little leg. I'm not saying you need to wear nice heels, but I'm telling you, you show that leg, you'll get at least 2 stars for that.
Oh my god, this fucking guy, guys. Welcome everybody to a brand new movie review where we talk about Equalizer 2 and the sequel to the first Equalizer film that came out in 2014. 4 years later, here we are. Denzel's back. And Denzel, this is the first time in all of Denzel's career that he's actually done a sequel. Out of all the films he's ever done, this is the first time.
I heard, see?
And, I mean, the first Equalizer, I liked that first Equalizer. I thought it was a good film. It's kind of hard to remember parts of it sometimes.
I remember, let's see, Chloe
Moretz
was in it.
Was in it, yes.
I think there was one other person. I just can't remember. Was in it.
Well, a couple people like Melissa Leo was in it, who's also in this one. Bill Pullman was in the first one as well. And just a guy who, I mean, even in this one, a guy who is just very much somebody who is just an all-around nice guy trying to do the nice things for people. And
well, you gotta understand this. The TV series, I'm not very familiar with the TV series.
No way.
But I remember when it was on.
Yes. And
I remember a teacher of mine said, you know, you gotta watch yourself or else the Equalizer will get you. And at the time, I had no idea what that is because I'd never heard of it.
Really?
Yeah, but then I knew he was like this kind of avenging angel type person who rights wrongs.
Yes.
And I can't remember the actor's name who played the Equalizer.
Oh man, that
was like the 80s. And so here we are with the movie version.
Yes.
And I always felt that it was almost better because in this film it hints on the idea that you understand where he had a team before he quote passed away.
Yes.
But I kind of like the idea that he just says the agency. And you never fully know who he worked for.
Well,
and I kind of like that because it gave some mystery to him and the people surrounding him. And when he called, like the first film, he called his friend up about, hey, can you help me out with this little situation?
Sure.
And I like that idea where he was kind of this. In the beginning, it was like the first, I think 20 minutes to a half hour.
Yeah.
It was a slow burn. You know, you see him, he's very neat. He's he likes to read. He has a wish of reading all these books.
Yeah.
And then something happens. He meets these people along the way, like you know, the one guy who wants to be a security guard, but then he can't because his mom needs help at her store, and she's being the crooked cops are asking for not hush money, but protection money. And then the one, he works at Home Depot, and it gets robbed, and takes her wedding ring. And she goes, oh my God, no. And the bad guy takes a wedding ring from her, and the next day, the wedding ring is right there.
Well, you're talking about that first film.
Yeah,
that first film, which, by the way, I mean, it was an unexpected movie. I mean, nobody expected how sort of badass. I mean, okay, yeah, we know how badass Denzel can be. That's a no-brainer. But, like, they were not expecting how sort of badass this movie was and how much badass he was going to be in it. And so doing a sequel, I don't know if I necessarily needed an Equalizer sequel.
I always felt that sequel should have just been him. It's just been a series of short stories of him, you know,
helping people.
There you go. But this one is his. There's something going on. It doesn't really fully explain about the old team and why he flips out.
No.
Or why? What I mean by flipping out is by betraying by going going in the private sector, private security or / assassinations.
Sure.
Now he gets a paycheck instead of a pat on the shoulder saying good job.
Good job.
But this time it kills his friend, and any loose ends that connect them are going to be eliminated.
Yes. And he's still the person who rights the wrongs. He still is. Yeah, so that's not.
Excuse me. That's sometimes I can go from here to I can fart. I can throw my farts out there.
Wow.
It's my superpower.
Yes, your superpower. You right the wrongs in different ways.
Yes. Imagine what smells over there.
God. But look, at the end of the day, though, I mean, that first movie had slow parts and it was building to this big action stuff, but it still had action along the way. This one is very much a slow build.
Yeah, it seems like instead of 20 to a half hour, it seems like it's almost like 40 minutes before we
even get any hint of like major action.
Something like that. I mean, I didn't have a watch
I
on me
wasn't
either.
Checking, but I mean, it felt that way. I mean, at least to me, it did.
I felt maybe this should have been the first film.
Really?
Yeah, this should have been the first film where I can't remember his name in the film, where the kid who wants to be a painter.
Oh yeah.
And then he goes into his secret, pushes the button.
Yeah.
Then he sees his uniform, his Marine uniform, and it has all the decorations. Like, well, who is this guy?
Yeah, what
was he like? Okay, he's a soldier, but how far? What's going on here? And then I think this film should have been the first film, and then have the second film him just kind of slightly joining the agency, then taking over or helping the Chloe's character, with the Russian mob,
sure,
or whatever that mob, and then stuff like that. But that's what I felt. But
I mean, I will say this. I think the story is a little bit better in that first movie than it is here. I do feel. I think there is still a good story with his past and all this jazz. I think there still is, but it's just. I think that first film's a little bit better. I mean, Denzel still is a badass. He still is great in the role. He's very casual, but yet can turn on in a dime with the action and do that stuff. I think it was, again, slightly better done in that first movie, but I think that this was still really effective and Denzel still really kills it in the role. I think all the actors do a really great job. Melissa Leo, Bill Pullman, all the people that he encounters, I think they all do a great job. The action
definitely picks up at the end.
Yes, there's this great set piece at the end where he goes back to his former home.
Seems like it's Connecticut / Massachusetts or something. It's where one of the an island.
Yes.
I don't know where it is, but there's a big storm coming, and the 4 soldiers or / assassins are coming after him, and I think it was very well done because they're trying to track him down in a storm.
Yeah.
They can't see well, and even if they did have goggles or whatever infrared, it would still mess up the equipment, and they wouldn't have a hard time watching it.
Yeah, they still wouldn't have a hard
time tracking them. And since he knows the lay of the land more, because he lived there,
yes,
he knows how, like the sniper and certain angles and stuff. That end scene, the fight that was fantastic.
That end scene was very well done. That end fight scene, there's stuff on like a little bit of a rooftop and stuff in like certain like buildings and everything. That's fantastic. Besides that, and maybe a couple of minor other action scenes throughout the film, there's really not much.
I think maybe also Denzel's like what, 62?
He's in his 60s, I believe. 60, yeah.
You know, he's great. He looks great.
Oh,
he's
no,
in good shape for a 60-year-old, but probably the reason why he's like he doesn't want to get all that hurt for these type of films.
Is also because, look, I mean, yeah, it's a paycheck, but he don't want to get, you know.
He doesn't want to hurt himself. It's probably the same reason. What was the other we talked about an actor, Keanu Reeves, I believe.
Oh,
Keanu Reeves. John Wick.
For John Wick, yeah.
And he's like, and the stunts that he does in those films is like, wow, for his, because I know he's at least in his.
He's gotta be in his 50s, isn't he?
Early 50s.
He's not, yeah. And the man is like fit and trim and cut and doing these crazy stunts. And look, a lot of these people that get older, whether we're talking about Denzel or Liam Neeson or Hugh Jackman or all these other people, at a certain point they sort of realize, yeah, if you want me to do the action stuff, I still will, but maybe I won't be as good as what I used to be.
That's why you got to have those
wonderful stunt doubles.
Well, stunt doubles, but the choreographers you got, and also different angles in the. So it looks like they're doing something, and in reality, they're not as fast as you think they're going.
Yeah, but even 4 years ago, like when the Equalizer, it felt like he was doing more. Even 4 years ago in the Equalizer, but maybe
times change.
Hey, 4 years.
Guess what? When you get up there in the years, 4 years is a lot.
4 years seems like an eternity.
Boy, I tell you, it puts a whole perspective on things when you realize your body doesn't really move as well as it used to.
Like one day your knee is working,
and you know there's a sharp pain like a dagger right in it.
Right in it, and you never know. Ooh, boy, and Tylenol just doesn't do the trick. I'm telling you.
Tylenol, PCP, son. You gotta get that out of your system.
Holy shit!
That pain out. Yeah. So this is more slow paced, but I didn't hate it.
No, I didn't hate it, but. See, you kind of felt, I know you kind of felt a little bit bored by it. You kind of felt like, oh, geez, Kurt, can we kind of pick this up? Like, I know you had that feeling, and I don't blame you. I had it too.
It seemed slow, but that's why I say this film maybe should have been
the first one.
The first one.
Yeah.
And have the cut, and have the scene where her his friend didn't die in this one, but she died in the other one. Maybe the Russian mob had an insider, and that was the guy. Leads on to the second film.
Okay.
And that's why he goes after the Russian mob.
That could work. I mean, the thing about the movie is that, look, I mean, the action is interesting, and there's a good pace in all of this stuff. To a certain degree, it is slow, but like I said, Denzel is still effective in it. And this is directed by the same guy who directed the first Equalizer film, Antoine Fuqua, I believe his name is, unless I'm butchering it. He directed Training Day and the remake to The Magnificent Seven and
another film, two films. I didn't see that one.
Yeah, but he's directed a lot of really great stuff. A lot of stuff with Denzel, and him and that director have a lot of great rapport together. And I mean, like I said, everything's well shot. The action, when there is action, is well shot. Again, the story's okay, decent, not as good as the first one. Yeah, look, I mean, this movie is slightly better than a movie like Taken 2 was, where that first Taken was so fucking phenomenal. And then Taken 2 happens, and you're just like, man, this was not nearly as good as that first one. I don't think this is like so far down compared to that first Equalizer film, but if I'm picking and choosing, I'm gonna be picking Equalizer more than Equalizer 2. That's just what I think.
Now the cool kids are racing.
Now the cool kids are racing, and apparently there's like action that's happening, and we're not involved in it. But whatever.
Well, if you call that action, I've heard better. I've seen better.
Of course you have. No, I mean, look. Do I think that Denzel has more of these movies in him? I don't. I don't think he does. Some people are saying because this movie has made a lot of money so far that maybe Equalizer 3, but I'm...
You know what when I first saw the first one, toward the end of it where they're in the Home Depot and the Russian assassins are coming after him.
Yeah.
That's when I thought, where he's fending them off as best as he can, but, you know, he's getting... You know, he's retired and not doing well.
Yeah, he's getting knocked around.
But his team, not the team that we see in this film, a separate team.
Sure.
Because, you know, he gets a phone call after the good team helps him out at the end.
Yeah.
He gets a call from her going, you know, oh, no, they get a call from her. One of the guys, he has like a silencer, but it's a dart gun that knocks them all out. So there's no evidence of any blood. They just drag him off, and he lifts off. The one guy lifts his goggles off, and he's like, "My team."
Okay, you think that could?
Yeah,
okay.
like, and he goes, and the guy goes, "Listen, you know how mother is. She's got to always got to look after you." Grabs his hand, picks him up, and everyone else goes, "What happened? Where all these people go?" And that's when I always felt like that's where,
that could have been cool.
Other than that, I did like the first one. I liked a lot better. I thought it was, but this one it felt more of a really great TV show, a TV movie.
Okay.
A really great one.
Okay, sure, I can go with that. It feels like one of those, yeah.
Like what's those shows now? I can't remember. They're on right now. Well, not now, but
they could be on now.
But it reminded me of one of those like action
like on TNT or something.
No. We're talking like the regular channels. What's the one with the FBI agents and I don't know, whatever, those action shows. It felt like a really good episode of that.
Okay, but as far as like as far as like competing with the Mission Impossibles and the John Wicks and everything, this movie kind of falls flat if you're comparing it to those.
Yeah, that's kind of hard, but I can appreciate the slow burn. Yes. But when you watch those films, it's like, wow. But I still liked it. I give it a solid B-.
Really?
A small
B-.
You're
definitely higher than I thought you would have been. But no, that's not bad. Look, for me personally, I'm not gonna lie. I sat there enjoying the movie, but I kept thinking to myself that it's unnecessary. We really didn't need an Equalizer sequel, and the first one is better, if only to me slightly. Like I said, Denzel is still good here, but it kind of feels like Denzel is not really in action mode in this film. Even at the end of the film, even though that action scene is really great, there's a moment where Denzel... He's not really like, you know how fighters are like fighting, they're like in that fighting stance. Denzel's just like,
his arms are down.
His arms are down, just like, hey,
well, that's the thing. Like his guard is, everyone thinks, oh, his guard's down, but it's not. See, I didn't mind that.
I didn't mind that, but again, it kind of felt like he was like, you know, whatever. You know, the script says I'm a badass, so you know, whatever. I'm a badass. Yeah, again, it can't compete with the Mission Impossibles or the John Wicks, but These slow burn ones are fine, and Denzel's never really been an action hero guy anyway, so
Dramatic
whatever.
actor.
Yeah, absolutely. I would probably give it a high C+. Is what I would do. So I'm a little bit lower than you, but I still enjoyed it. And speaking of my 5-star rating, you're gonna give me that, right? Right? The 5-star rating? I gave you the lift here in the car. I'm gonna kick your ass like Denzel. Yes? 5-star rating?
Mommy, 5 more minutes. I'll get up. You're not terrifying.
I am terrifying.
I like the hat, but the gun, no, it's. Wake me up when we get there.
Motherfucker. God. Guys, I hope you fucking asshole here. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up. And me and the fucking schmuck over here will be back for another movie review. God, you piece of shit. You're giving me a goddamn fucking rating.
You there yet? Well, wake me up when we get there. Jesus.
Fucking asshole. Motherfucker. God. I'll see you later, guys.